Okay, in this part, it says, what problem does Joe mention in connection with each of the following band members? So they're going to talk about each of these different band members. Remember, it goes in order. So first they're going to talk about the flautist, and they're going to talk about what the problem is with the flautist. And then they're going to talk about the trumpeter, the trombonist, the percussionist. They're going to talk about each one of them, and they're going to mention their problem. Again, make sure you listen out for synonym language and paraphrasing. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and go through this one.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 27 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 27 to 30. Can I tell you about a few people in the band who I'm finding it quite difficult to cope with? I'm sure you'll have some ideas about what I can do.
Go ahead.
There's a flautist who says she loves playing in the band. We rehearse twice a week after school, but she's hardly ever there. Then she looks for me the next day and gives me a very plausible reason. She says she had to help her mother, or she's been ill, but to be honest, I don't believe her.
Oh dear. Any more students with difficulties?
Plenty. There's a trumpeter who thinks she's the best musician in the band, though she certainly isn't. She's always saying what she thinks other people should do, which makes my job pretty difficult.
She sounds a bit of a nightmare.
You can say that again. One of the trombonists has got an impressive sense of rhythm and could be an excellent musician, except that he has breathing difficulties, and he doesn't really have enough breath for the trombone. He'd be much better off playing percussion, for instance, but he refuses to give up, so he ends up only playing half the notes.
I suppose you have to admire his determination.
Maybe. One of the percussionists isn't too bad, but he never seems to interact with other people, and he always rushes off as soon as the rehearsal ends. I don't know if there are family reasons or what, but it isn't good in a band where people really need to feel they're part of a group. There are others too, but at least that gives you an idea of what I'm up against. Do you have any thoughts about what I can do, Lizzie? That is the end of...
Okay, so when you're practicing on your own, this is the kind of thing that I recommend that you do sometimes. So what you're going to see me do here, before I get into the answers, I'm just going to talk about how it's a good way just to practice sometimes, because sometimes your people focus on trying to choose the answer instead of trying to work on their skills. And so if I'm doing a listening test and I'm saying, you know what, when I'm listening to this listening test, I'm trying to I'm trying to work on my skills of recognizing what the synonym language is that they said, right? So what I might put down on my paper, like for this one, they said, right, then for the trumpeter, right? So if you notice what I did, I actually I said, you know what? I'm going to try to listen and see if I can hear and write down what's the synonym language that they use. Right? What are they saying? Right? They said he rehearses, but he's hardly ever there. Right? So 27 is a synonym for what? Which answer choice? Right? That's going to answer is going to be D. Good job. All right. Now, how about 28? 28 is B. Great. 29. 29 is E. And 30. Right? 30 is F. But as you can see with this kind of question, it's not difficult to understand what you have to do, but you just have to be able to listen for and pick synonym or pick paraphrasing language. That's all they're doing, right? And they're gonna do they do that. That's the only way they do this question, and that's how they make it hard because it goes in order, right? It goes in order, but I think to really get good at this question, work on the skill of being able to recognize and pick out synonym language, right? Work on doing it that way sometimes. Okay, does anybody have any questions? All right, now, okay, we're going to go through this last part, which is section 4.